Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 16th of November 2020. So, energy stocks soar to best week ever as vaccine hope vanquishes fear. Everything is awesome in the stock market as ever, because that's precisely how manipulation works and rigged markets. And also overnight, S&P futures surge above 3,600 as the Nasdaq also jumps 1%. There is certainly elevated chatter that potential shutdowns in the US will weigh more in the near term, and maybe so, but investor sentiment is the most elevated since 2017. So there you go. There's the reason, apparently, investor sentiment, more like Fed and the plunge protection team, is behind the moves that we're seeing at the moment in the markets. So yeah, interesting one there, but then it's contradicted by Fed Chair Powell admits the truth. That's an unusual one coming from a central banker. We're not going back to the same economy. They tend to admit to all of these truths once they leave and written a biography. And we're recovering, but to a different economy. That's because it's the World Economic Forum economy. And I worry that it's going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers. Yes, because you're going to shut down the economy for 7 weeks if Biden is confirmed in January. So it is going to destroy it. Simple as that. And then, of course, World Economic Forum agenda achieved, and they can reset, and then we can all become serfs to the communist organization that it is. So anyway, let's have a look at Friday's trades. The market moving to the upside as we saw in the pre-market session. And I forgot to put on the record button so we can see this is where we start off with Friday's trades. The market opening and trading up. Again, you can see the selling that came into the market, and then they bought back at the BRN, the 20 bar moving average, and moved prices up to the DP area, where once again we saw potential weakness at this level, and then prices move lower. However, the sell signal wasn't filled, market traded sideways, and then as we move through the morning, I'm going to fast forward through this, you can see prices again showing potential weakness there at the DP level, finding support at the 20 bar, back to the DP, and then trading up to the BRN. You can see that an increase in volume is required to drive prices through any pivot points and also BRN if it is to be successful. And there you go, you can see this now confirmed in this bar too. So prices continuing to move to the upside, some selling pressure here. This stops the market in its tracks. You can see the volume is greater in this bar, narrower in range than the previous bar, which means there must be some sort of pressure to upside prices. Otherwise, you'd have ended up with another bar of this sort of length driving to the upside. So it was obviously hit by some form of selling. So what I'm doing here is looking at the fibs that I drew in Friday's market alert, and I'm going to mark this up on the chart at some point in the morning, just so I can get an indication of where we are. But there you can see the potential weakness coming in. And again, I'm having a look to see where that 50% is. This one here at 117. And as we go back to the chart, again, I keep coming back and having a look. More selling pressure. And you can see how it stopped the market here. It came back to the BRN, moved higher, drove with a lot of volume again. And then look at the selling pressure here this time. So the market's struggling to move higher there, and then you'll see prices trading sideways. They want the market up, so you're not seeing any selling to the downside. Prices then drive up and trade through spectacularly, but come back to close on or near the lows at the BRN with an increase in volume. Not significant. It would have been nice had it have been this sort of volume at this level, but given the market had moved up during the morning, it was due for a correction. And what I've done here now is just added in the level from the daily charts, that 117, and that's where it is, and prices traded up towards this. It was no surprise really, and then after the market finished at 10 a.m. prices traded sideways, but then came through this level. So I'm going to fast forward, and there you can see prices coming through the target that I drew from the daily chart into the 2 minute. So I'm going to fast forward here, and you can see how prices came through and then eventually were hit with selling coming into the market here. You can see the cluster of selling there, and then prices move lower. I'm going to fast forward through to the news at lunchtime, where the market came all the way back down to the DP, and as ever you can see this selling followed by buying, bringing the market back at the DP level, very important level, and also the 200 MA there as well. Prices retracing here, down probably about 62% towards the BRN, and then as the afternoon session opens, prices once again start to move to the upside. And here we've got that level from the daily chart, the 117 that I was looking at earlier. And then unfortunately we went into news, which was there. I'll just do this a bit slower. What news was it? Just to remind me, it was the prelim UM. And this came out as bad news, if I recall. Yep, 77. Right on this level that I drew from the daily chart. There you can see some potential weakness, but as with all bad news, it's generally discounted eventually down to the 200 bar moving average, and then prices again find support at this level twice. This is also a 78% retracement in fib terms, and then the market moves back to the upside there for a while to the BRN, then back to the 200 MA, then more news, and then end of the trading session there. For Friday, prices then once again make their way back up to this level before moving back to the downside as well. So you can see how powerful it is to actually transfer the fib retracements from the daily chart into the time frame that you're looking at. So let's have a look overnight, see where we are with things. This is the Dow. Just look at the daily chart, and you'll see, as the news indicated this morning, the S&P futures up, Nasdaq up 1%, and you can see that the Dow is heading back to the upside there. So what I would be inclined to do, just to get a look at where we are, is draw these levels in. I would certainly remove the 38, the 50, and the 62, because we're currently at 78.89, and then you've got the recent high here as well, which you want to place in, because this won't be in the smaller time frame charts. It only puts the high in from the previous day. So there are the numbers for the Dow, where you can expect some resistance as prices move to the upside. And then let's have a look at the German DAX in the daily also. So I'm just going to reduce this down a bit so that we can get more of a look at where we are. So Friday we were through the 38, through the 50, through the 62, currently trading at the 78, which is 218. Again, take note of this. And also to the left here you've got the resistance here, and then we've got the high that we had as well, 299. Make it 300, round it up, because that's what they will attack if they move prices to the upside there. So we can see that the DAX is already moving to the upside. Let's just bring things back a bit, see where we are on the overnight. The market gapping to the upside there at the high. Market comes back to, well, here's the close. I suppose that we got the high there, but here's the close, and the gap is filled, partially filled, back to the high. But as we move forward, we can see that we're above the high, and also above the 200 MA as well, as prices make their way to the upside. Let's just compress all of the chart. Let's have a look, see where we are. So we're through the R1. We have the R2 to the upside, and then we have these figures here as well, which you want to transfer across, which is not too difficult to do. 218 is where the market's currently sitting. So for example, to do this is very simple. We just come to markup. I get rid of that so you can see it. Markup, actually I'll put that back so you can see it. Lines, and then I tend to make this a lot more solid. Choose a color. We'll go with this lime green, and then let me just double check the figure. It was 218 by the looks of things. So I know that's going to be 200. 218 is going to be around here. And then if you just look up here where it's got cursor, you will see the numbers there. And as I move this line, I'll just look for 217, which the market has already gone through. So here you can see prices are more or less at that level at the moment. So that's what I will do during the trading session or before. The next one is 258. So while we're here, we'll draw that one on as well. That's a 50, so there's going to be 258 in this area here, and there we go. So that's the next upside target from the daily. And then you've got the 300, which you'll be able to see is already here at this level as well. So that's the next BRN. So these areas are crucial for the market to move to the upside when it opens at 7 a.m. for the futures and 8 a.m. for the cash market. Okay, let's have a quick look at the implied volatility. This dropping again on Friday down to 20.3. Still bullish for this market at the moment, which is incredible given what's going on in the US with the election as well and the uncertainty. The prospect of being shut down for 7 weeks if Biden gets in is quite amazing. So, but again, indicating that, so we have to go with what we see. News for today is a couple of news items. 9 a.m. we've got the financial stability review from Europe. And the criminal is out again speaking at 1 p.m. For the rest of the week, let's have a look through what we've got. Tuesday, we've got a lot of news, which is unusual. We normally have a no news Tuesday, but here we've got from OPEC, a tentative meeting. It could happen at any time during the day. We've got core retail sales from the US retail sales, and Bailey speaking. You notice that these central bankers are out a lot at the moment, aren't they? Nothing on Wednesday. Again, on Thursday, we've got the usual monthly ECB meeting. And on Friday, we've got Lagarde again speaking. So it's Europe this week with a sprinkling of Bailey. And then Saturday, Sunday, we've got a G20 meeting, probably on Zoom, I would imagine. So, yeah, a lot to come this week as far as the news is concerned. But to finish on a lighter note, well, you could say it's a lighter note. It's actually quite worrying. But it did bring a smile to me this morning when I saw this. I thought you can't make it up. But interest in Sherman tanks on popular auction site soars with America trapped in chaos. And it is going to be chaos, as I've said before. Whoever wins, it is going to be utter chaos and border on beyond civil unrest, maybe even civil war. If you can own a tractor, you can own a tank. I'm sure that's the case. It's whether you're going to actually get the ammunition for it, but it could do a lot of damage with a tank. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there's anything else to report, I will let you know, but otherwise, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.